Now, Connecticut's only all-weather show. This is First Alert Weather Extra.
Crews near Reno, Nevada are making progress on the Hawk Fire. The wildfire is now 27% contained, but thousands of residents are still not allowed back home as evacuation orders remain in place. Video shows a charred landscape in the mountain range northwest of Reno. The fire has destroyed more than 30 homes, including Rick Arate's. He is determined to get back on his feet one way or another.
Do I know how? No. But I just believe somehow it's going to happen, and I'm going to still live happily ever after.
The Hawk Fire is one of more than 80 large fires burning nationwide. In Texas, the Ross Fire, west of Dallas, started Monday. It's forced evacuations and has already scorched more than 50,000 acres. Two fast-growing fires have hit north and central Texas with evacuations issued. The biggest has grown to more than 50,000 acres, fueled by extreme dry conditions. 3/4 of Texas are experiencing some level of drought right now. No injuries have been reported. A tornado struck a village in France, destroying homes. The video, incredible here. At least 41 people were hurt. 15 people had to go to the hospital. The town is still working to clear the debris from that tornado.